Say, wake up, y'all. Wake up, y'all. Wake up. You preachers. Start preaching what you teach, huh? Wake up, everybody. It's the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother, John.
I am the one and only Mr. Edmond.
Hey, and this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project at the Community Development and Training Center, a.k.a. CDAT.
CDAT.
And we would like to thank y'all for tuning in to help us to redefine what's cool. What's good, man?
Oh, man. It's a lovely day in the neighborhood.
It is.
If I was Mr. Rogers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And even if I wasn't.
Yeah, even if I am.
It's still an amazing time.
Yeah, the heat index has went down.
Okay.
You feel it. It don't feel like 4 days ago.
Oh, my God.
It was the hottest I ever felt.
Right.
I'm one of those guys that grew up in grandma's house, and it wasn't nothing but that old raggedy fan, the regular raggedy fan, and it was super, super hot. And standing in that heat, oh man, it prepared me for the future. And the future I'm talking about is the future of today. Now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you done been in grandma's house and that heat come over your whole body.
Yes, sir.
So
yeah, I have.
The heat came over my body and my mind. It took over my mind.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It was just that hot.
It was that hot.
It took over my mind.
Wow.
Had me thinking crazy.
Wow. Yeah, no, it is really real. I like this. Joyful Everything Breakfast Club. Joyful Everything, beautiful beings. That's Sierra. JP, I see you, man. Good morning. Yvonne, thank you for tuning in.
Tag a friend.
Yeah, tag a friend. Tag somebody and tell them the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is on.
If you in traffic, you drive safe, turn it on, and break the knob off.
That's right. Turn it way all the way, way up.
And just snatch the knob off. It ain't no knobs no more. They got like little buttons.
Yeah, they got buttons. Yeah.
So
just
flick the button.
But something.
Do something for us.
Yeah, and we also would like to thank everybody who participated in our 3rd annual hurricane supply giveaway.
Oh man,
this past
it was a beautiful thing, man. I overslept, man.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
It ain't.
Yeah.
Reno called me after. He's like, "Yeah, boy, where you at?"
Right.
And it's over. He ride around with his bag in the car.
Oh yeah, because we had some good stuff, man.
Man, just chill.
Yeah, we got.
I'll catch up later.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going.
We will keep going.
Absolutely. I see Sharonda's on. Thank you, Renee. Thank you for tagging friends and everybody. But yeah, no, it was amazing, man. Folks came out, got the supplies,
it was beautiful.
And we're gonna continue to get the word out about hurricane preparedness and resiliency, man. That's really what the idea is.
So when you talk about resiliency, Brother John, a lot of people really don't know what I'm saying. That word ain't in their everyday vocabulary. So when you say resiliency, what you mean?
Okay, well, in this context, it's being prepared for disasters and being able to recover. So when we talk about resilience, it's more like the bounce back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like after a natural disaster or after even a man-made disaster or some type of storm that happens. Usually, you know how it goes when they say when America catch a cold, we catch pneumonia and all of that stuff. And so in our communities,
when they catch the flu, we catch corona.
Yes, sir. with disparate numbers and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just really being able to bounce back, and then not only disaster resiliency, but just everyday community resiliency. What does it take to be a community that can weather the storms of everyday life? And so we've been having conversations about these different resiliency hub concepts and ideas, and we're gonna put out actually a report at the end of next month where we're gonna talk about the asset mapping that we've done, the resiliency assessments that we've done, conversations that we've been having with residents about it.
Shout out to the community connectors.
Yes,
y'all know who y'all is.
Yes, you do.
And I want to give you a big shout out, man, because my earlier memories of this was like Irma.
Yes, sir.
After the storm.
Yeah.
We vacated.
Yeah, that's right. You did.
And so when I came back, we came back at like the day we came back, the lights were still out in Charles Park. And it was a push to turn the rec center into a resiliency hub.
Pretty much.
I mean, that's pretty much what happened. I don't know if we had insurance.
No, we did.
I don't know if we had the insurance policy out. No. But the rec center was open. We was distributing pizzas. Since the lights was out, we had Duracell out there charging cell phone batteries.
That's right.
Big shots. I mean, a lot of people came out. I was looking at those pictures, man.
Okay.
people from all over the city. It wasn't just a Child's Park thing. It was a community thing.
We did about 800 meals, I think, over about 4 or 5 days.
Yeah,
man.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember the first wave of pizzas, and then we just kept going.
Yep, it was like pizza. Then people started bringing meals. We had like a barbecue one day. We had a potluck one day, and like we had the 2 burner stoves. Shout out to Jonathan who used to be at the yard back in the day.
Big shouts out to Johnny, man.
Yeah. He came through with like a 2 burner. We even got so sporty with it, man. They was bringing pet supplies, shampoo, like was all kind of stuff that came through there.
It was really a trial run for the resiliency hubs, the satellite resiliency centers in the community, because what we're gonna do is take care of each other.
That's right.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna make sure, when it happened, we're gonna be there, and we're gonna have a plan, and we want the community to have a plan as well.
Real deal. And that's what that showed us. I mean, that was kind of what
we needed a plan.
That we needed a plan. We had an impromptu plan, and people just started working together.
And we made it happen. But what we want to do is have an intentional plan, have more intentionality.
Right.
When we talk about resiliency in the community.
Real talk, man. And then Friday night done right. The first Friday
that was dope. even though we got canceled due to the rain and the storm, we still was able to hand out the pizzas.
Yeah, we was able to provide some.
It was love, man. I'm sitting there thinking in my head, like, they ain't gonna say thank you. And as soon as I thought it in my head, thank you. I was like, okay, that's what I'm talking about, baby. There go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Thank you.
You just had to give it a minute.
It just how the churn is.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? They was happy to because they didn't expect the pizza. So as we were bringing the pizza, they was leaving because the weather.
Right.
And they was like, they out of here. They gonna do this the first time.
Right. No, it was great.
It was beautiful.
And so every Friday at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Child's Park Pool, y'all come through.
This is 6th year.
Yep.
2016 is when we started the Friday night done right. And it was amazing. And it still is. Big shouts out to everybody who participated, everybody who we was passing the hat around.
Yes, sir.
Because we're gonna pay for these kids something to eat and the pool.
Yeah. And so now we getting sporty.
Oh, now we way sporty. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be something that may go all around the city, if not the state.
Yeah, and I see they picking it up over at Wildwood.
Listen,
Hall, man.
Man, big shouts out to Wildwood doing their thing.
She really killing it over there, man.
Listen, if you ever thought that there was a need or not need for a swimming facility, we need it.
Yeah.
Every facility in the South Side, we need it. So use the pools. It's hot. Don't pass out. Stay hydrated and go to your local rec center pool. Man.
Absolutely. And so y'all stick around for it. You're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, the new 99 Gems morning show right here on 99.1 FM. Later on in the program, we got School Board Member Caprice Edmond coming through, y'all. So y'all stick around. We got a lot of good stuff happening today. Also, what's good, man? Barbershop Book Club. Barbershop Book Club launched their summer cuts in camps and Dads and Treasures.
Dope. That was dope. I was there. I got the invite to speak to the chair.
Okay.
About my film career.
Right.
And the different stuff I do in the community. Big shots out to T Brown. Also, DJ Surefire was there as well.
Okay, nice.
We talked to the kids. Surefire is a natural with the youth, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna point it out. Big shouts out to Surefire, DJ Surefire, man. Young what is a natural with the youth, man. I can just see him leading thousands of cheering somewhere.
Absolutely. And you can catch him actually on 99 Gems every day at 3 o'clock in your drive.
Traffic, man. I always listen to them boys, man.
Yeah. He turned it up, man. And so if you're interested in having a summer cuts in the camp presentation, you can email Mr. Brown at the BSBC Summer Cuts at Gmail. That's like Barbershop Book Club.
BSBC.
Yep, at BSBC Summer Cuts at gmail.com. Also, you can text 727-710-6410 if you like for them to come out to your program.
And so what y'all don't know, Barbershop Book Club is when you get a haircut, a book for your youth. You know what I mean? Your youth can read the book. They got a curriculum now. They stepping up and stepping out of the barbershop and going to the summer camp. So big shots out to T.
That's what's up, man. All right, this day in history. Today is June 27th. It's the 178th day of the Gregorian calendar.
177th?
78th.
Okay.
Yep. And it's Kyrie's birthday. Y'all know I'll be giving a shout out to my grandson. Shout out to Kyrie.
He ain't in traffic right now, but we got you.
Yeah, but we got you, young man. Happy 9th birthday to Kyrie. Also on this day, the first women's magazine, Ladies Mercury, is published in London. The first color TV demonstration is performed by Bell Laboratories in New York City, and the first atomic power station in Moscow, Russia, opened. Today is also National HIV Testing Day.
Oh,
yeah. So each year, America observes National HIV Testing Day on June 27th, raising awareness about the importance of testing for HIV and getting an early diagnosis. Called NHTD in short, the day is crucial for encouraging people to increase HIV testing and know their status, and then get the care that you need in order to treat the illness. That's another one of the things that's happening.
Oh yeah, man. The HIV thing is serious in our community still. And it ain't went nowhere. So today is National Test Day. Go get you a test.
Real talk. One other thing that's happening today is National PTSD Awareness Day.
Oh yeah.
And so on June 27th, we talk about PTSD. That's post-traumatic slave disorder.
But that's part of PTSD though.
Yeah. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah. A complex disorder caused by experiencing or witnessing trauma. The trauma necessary to cause PTSD can originate from many events, potentially an accident, combat, a natural disaster, or an assault. But there are other ways that PTSD symptoms can arise. A trained professional must diagnose PTSD based upon the symptoms. And yeah, today is National PTSD Awareness Day.
Yeah, man. PTSD is serious. People living through traumas, like you said, war, different things.
Yeah.
You know, different community trauma.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of the shootings, a lot of stuff going on goes unaddressed.
That's
and
right.
It starts and it causes PTSD.
Real talk, man. And shout out to the Crime Survivors for Safety and Justice.
Oh yeah, they did. They thank you thing.
Yeah, and
brunch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And just the work that they're doing, man.
The work in general. Yeah.
Yeah, the work in general is really amazing. So let's see. We got a call on here. Let's see who we got calling in. Caller, you on the air?
Peace and light, Brother John. Your brother Reno Moore in the building. What it do, y'all?
What the business is. Thank you for tapping in, man. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, I just want to highlight Black male mental health disorder and also Black people mental health disorder.
Okay.
When we often Eurostep how we really feel, and it's a case in point when my brother said post-traumatic slave syndrome, and we kind of kept going. That's the real PSD, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's the real PSD. You know what I'm saying? And it came before someone went to combat.
Real talk.
You know what I mean?
Real talk.
And when we don't highlight it or even mention it, then we're not even, we're like Euro-stepping our own emotions as a people.
Real talk. Real talk.
I just want to uplift that right there when I came in, because that was one of the last things I heard before I pressed call.
Okay, no doubt, man. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for tapping in.
I'm back to listening, man. I'll call y'all a little bit when I'm on the road.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace. Yeah, call in, y'all. The line's open, 727-637-2416. Also, Mr. Edmond, did you see the BET Awards last night?
No.
Okay.
I've been boycotting buffoonery. So
okay. Boycotting buffoonery.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah, mine expanding my mind.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I read the post though.
I'll tell you what.
I
saw the Diddy Lifetime Achievement Award, and it was amazing. I liked his speech. Kanye actually kind of came out and did what he do. It was interesting. So Taraji P. Henson hosted. Diddy got the Lifetime Achievement Award.
I know that's who hosted.
Yeah. Taraji, and she did her thing too, man.
Yeah, she a boss.
So just some of the award winners. Best female R&B artist was Jasmine Sullivan. Best male R&B artist was The Weeknd. Best female hip hop, Megan Thee Stallion. Best male hip hop, Kendrick Lamar. And then album of the year went to An Evening with Silk Sonic, which is Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak, and Silk Sonic. Shout out to all of the winners and nominees of the BET Awards.
Yeah, man. Big shouts out to them. Everybody who took an award home, man. Everybody was nominated.
Real deal, man. Yeah, like, them nominations do something for your career. And yeah, good stuff. All right, so again, it's what's on your mind. Well, it's not what's on your mind, but we want to hear what's on your mind.
I was going to say I got something on my mind.
What's on your mind, man?
So, Roe versus Wade was overturned in the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
It's been
that's on everybody's mind. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, no.
Well, y'all call in and let us know if y'all talking about the Roe versus Wade, what you think about it. Yeah. Because honestly, my first thought,
okay, before
the health and all the different parts of it, I just think about the political strategy that was used to accomplish this.
Okay.
This was something
to accomplish the overturning
of Roe versus Wade. This was something that had been planned for decades.
Right.
And stacking the Supreme Court was one of the parts of the plan. It was other parts of the plan, including electing officials throughout the elected seats,
right?
Like from postmaster to election officials. So this was a strategic plan, and this plan was very much publicized.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't like a covert operation.
I think they call them the evangelical. Yeah. Shout out to them.
Yeah. They do anything.
Because
so let me give you this kind of backstory.
Okay.
So Roe versus Wade was a landmark decision by the U.S. Supreme Court in 1973. It ruled that the Constitution of the United States generally protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose and to have an abortion. The decision struck down many federal and state abortion laws and fueled the ongoing abortion debate in the U.S. about whether or to what extent abortion should be legal, who should decide the legality of abortion, and what the role of moral and religious views in the political sphere should be. It also shaped the debate concerning which methods the Supreme Court used in its constitutional adjudication. Fast forward to June 2024. Oh, the other thing too that I thought was interesting, because I was reading about this. The case was brought by Norma McCovey. She used the pseudonym Jane Roe, and that's where the Roe came from. So, like, John Doe, it was Jane Roe, because I thought Roe was a real person, but Roe was not it was a pseudonym.
Yeah, for a person who didn't want to be identified.
Yep. Who in 1969 she became pregnant with her third child. She wanted to have an abortion, but she lived in Texas where it was illegal, except if it was necessary to save the mother's life. She ended up suing the state's her local district attorney, who was Henry Wade. So Henry Wade was the district attorney in Texas that basically.
Oh, so that's Roe versus Wade.
That's Roe versus Wade. Yeah, just kind of when you hear Roe was Jane Roe, who was actually Norma McCovey,
and
Wade was Henry Wade. He was the district attorney in Texas who she sued, and then it moved its way up to the Supreme Court, and they decided on January 22nd, 1973. It was a 7-2 decision holding that due process clause of the 14th Amendment did provide the right to privacy, which protects a woman's right to an abortion. Yeah. So that's how it started.
Yeah.
This is how it's going. On June 24th, the Supreme Court overruled Roe. It was called Dobbs versus Jackson's Health Organization. And hold on 1 second.
And so Dobbs Health Organization was like in Alabama somewhere.
It's Mississippi,
Alabama, Mississippi. My bad.
Yeah, they kind of the same.
No, like Florida and Georgia, they go together.
Yeah. So oral arguments before the court were held in December 2021, and then in May 2022, they published the article about the leak, saying that they were going to overturn it. So,
and here it is now, June.
Yep.
And it hit the court when Tuesday.
Friday. I think Friday like kicked off the weekend. Thursday,
man,
Friday.
People was crying. It was like crazy. People on one side celebrating, people on the other side. And what I found out is that the original the evangelists were actually for abortion at the beginning.
Okay.
And so what made them change was a political strategy, because what they said was racism wasn't going to be a galvanizing issue. So they chose abortion as the galvanizing issue that they
started organizing
around. And they organized around it for decades, all the way up to the Supreme Court. And they got like 4 people to say, out with Roe.
There it is. Caller, you on the air. What's on your mind?
First, I want to say good morning. This is Javon from Tampa Bay.
Good morning. Good morning.
It is, Brother Edmond just said, this has been decades in the making. And I think that's something we always have to remember, is that our political and civil rights it's not a one-way march towards ever greater and more progress and greater freedom and whatnot. It is a game. And sometimes we win and sometimes they win. Unfortunately, it seems more recently that we have not been winning. And by we can say that as Black and brown people. We can say that as people who want to see more inclusive, progressive society. I mean, I think there's a lot of ways to split who is the we and who is the them. But those who want to send us back to, I don't even want to say 1950 to 1850 and 1650 and maybe even 1619, they seem to really be winning. And it can be discouraging, but the wise don't fret, they get organized.
That's what's up.
So I would say if there's anything to do right now is to get organized, get plugged into the organizations and the people who are moving and are share the same values that you do. And, I think we have to have a moment to scream and be upset and be angry, and those emotions are appropriate, but we can't stop at that.
That's right.
We gotta stay busy because that's what our ancestors did, that's what our grandparents did, and that's what we got to do.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you for calling, JP.
Yeah, man. He hit on the head. We got to organize and strategize. There's a time to be mad. There's a time to be glad, but then there's a time to organize.
Absolutely, man.
And I already see that the president had made a speech where he was actually saying that abortion is on the ballot coming up.
He said abortion is on the ballot.
I mean, he ain't say abortion. I'm paraphrasing right now. Just chill. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just paraphrasing. But what I'm saying is that they know that this is also going to be a galvanizing issue on the other side.
Right.
And that, hopefully they'll get people out to vote. And then maybe it'll be a high turnout election for this midterm.
Hopefully. We're trying to bring Qiana in, but I got this echo.
They might be my headphones. Turn my headphones.
So I'm trying to figure out.
Turn my headphones on.
Look. I don't think that's it.
Turn my headphones down.
Yeah. So Qiana, while we figure that out,
Qiana,
sit in the queue.
Good morning.
Sit in it.
Just sit in it for a minute while we got it. But I see your smiling face.
Sit in
the queue. And so, yeah, let us know what y'all thinking, man. What's on your mind when it comes to Roe versus Wade? Again, this is
and does it even matter to you? You know, some people they saying, it matter a lot to.
Yeah.
And then some people it don't matter so much to. And then some people, are for it.
Yeah, and it says among the American public, more than 55% were opposed to overturning Roe versus Wade. 55% of Americans have identified themselves as pro-choice as of May 2022.
Mm-hmm. That leaves 45, so the minority is running the majority right now.
Pretty much. And based upon that poll,
hey, that's political strategy though. That's what they did. They did that to do that.
Yeah, they did that to do that. They did that to do that. And so the other thing too, like when we talk about right to choose, you still have the right to choose who your elected officials are. Because
the real pro-choice that really supports and strengthens your pro-choice.
Yeah, but you got to choose who your state representatives and your elected officials
are. Congressman is,
and that's going to be more important now because it's up to the states. Because basically what they did was they said
it's not legal.
It's not illegal.
It's just saying it's not a constitutional right.
Just depending on what state you in, and so now it's up to the states to decide. And I think like 13 states had immediate, what they call them trigger laws.
So listen, Brother John.
Yes, sir.
I shouldn't have ate. But listen, that shows more demonstration about the strategy that was used. They had laws already in place for when this day would come. Yeah. Because they said, know what? This day would come.
Yeah.
Right. And their people told them, hey man, get ready because this day will come.
Right.
And when the day came, automatic. Yeah. They ain't even got to do nothing.
Right.
The trigger warning has already been pulled.
Real talk, man. And so 13 states had trigger warnings. I think another 30 something states had like some type of ban in place already.
Yep.
Florida is one of those states I think that has
13 weeks.
15 weeks.
Yep.
The 15-week ban actually will go into place, and so yeah, it's something to be paying attention to, y'all. Y'all keep your eyes on that.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we want to let you know, just remind you that you're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, the new 99 Jams morning show. And as a community-owned public media resource, WUJM 99 Jams relies on the support of listeners like you to keep the shows that you love on the air, the doors open, lights on, and to continue to put out quality programming in the Tampa Bay area. Please consider making a donation or becoming a show sponsor today. You can do that by going to 99jamstheberg.com and clicking on the donate button. Yeah, what else on your mind, man?
Man, I got a lot on my mind.
Okay. So let me do this. Let's take a break.
I appreciate
you. We're gonna just congratulate Renee Flowers on her reelection.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That mean nobody else filed for it.
Yep.
You know what? That's good.
Yep. So
shots out commissioner.
Yeah. So she's county commission District 7. She was unopposed in her race.
There was a couple other unopposed. One. followers unopposed.
Now there you go. See,
I mean, I'm just,
I don't know.
I mean, I pay attention a little. So,
yeah. But so tell me, because I don't know.
I mean, I'm just thinking.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so, but yeah, she actually, and it was a law that actually passed. She was elected in 2020 to a 4-year term, but they changed the law in Tallahassee and required her to run again for her seat with two years left in her term.
2 years later, yeah.
And I guess nobody else filed to run, so
that
she was automatically reelected to her seat. And actually, she's coming. She's going to come and sit with us. She's going to hang out with the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
So we really rolling out pretty much all the elected officials that'll come on.
Yeah, we're gonna bring them in, man.
And we're gonna really because see the catalyst of this program was Amendment 4.
Yeah.
We began the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club talking about Amendment 4, getting people active, getting people involved with the elections process, and so it became such a hit. We just kept going.
Right.
So it's our duty to have our elected officials, to have like last week we had one of the developers for the Tropicana site.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just informing the community, giving it to y'all just how you like it.
Yeah, civic engagement, man. That's what
we do.
That's what we do. So we just want to make sure that y'all civically engaged. Like I said, we're gonna take a real quick break, y'all. You listen to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on.
So what a quick break is, a minute?
Yeah, that's it. Not even like 45 seconds.
WUJM.
We'll be right back, y'all.
And these things right here, ethnic right now.
Peace and light. This is your brother John, and I would like to invite you to tune in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99 Jam every Monday and Wednesday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the latest in pop culture news and unique perspectives on hot topics. Make sure you tune in and start your day off right with the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on 99.1 FM, 99 Jam. And there you have it. We back. I told you about 45 seconds.
Don't worry, we're gonna get a 2-minute break going sometime soon.
Real talk. At some point. Angela Brown, I see you. And that is Angela Brown. Look, I've been saying Angela Brown for like 4 months, and it was Angel.
Your essence have been around us, whether you know it or not.
Whether you know it or not. You hear Blue.
We've been thinking about you.
Thank you for tuning in. Blue is in the building as well.
Mama Blue,
baby. All right, so another thing is in the city, David Malone kicks off creation of new MWBE policy for the city of St. Pete.
Oh, so what that is, the
minority? No, that's minority women business enterprise, minority/women-owned business enterprises.
Oh yeah, I think that was what Miss Teresa used to do. Or something like
she did that back in the day.
Back in the days, and then they cut the department.
Yeah,
and now they bringing the department back. Shout out to the mayor, man, because that's intentionality that we need. So now that homie in that office, I don't know his name. I didn't mean to call you homie, but I'm just saying,
that's David, brother David. Yeah,
Dave,
Mr. Malone.
Dave, what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to get with you, man, so we can make sure we make some effective change and really get some people in these contracts,
right?
Because these contracts are wealth building tools, and when we don't get these contracts, we're not getting the wealth building tools. And this is city procurement contract, right?
Yes, sir. So it says in mid-March, Mayor Ken Welch announced David Malone as his choice for the Director of Procurement and Supply Management. I was
there when they did that.
Okay. So he's the Director of Procurement and Supply Management, and he oversees the city's purchases of over $300 million annually.
$300 million. Didn't I say it was a wealth building tool? So you get a contract, and say you get a contract to do printing.
Okay.
Right? Say you got a print company.
Yep.
Boom, and you printing for the city, you get a contract. That contract go from 1 year to 5 years, 10 years, 15 years.
Yep.
And end up being one of your biggest contracts. And the problem is sometimes in the past, Black people weren't getting these contracts.
Yep.
The Black community wasn't getting these contracts, and then it affected the wealth of our community.
Right. And so in addition to directing the city's procurement operations across 36 city departments, Malone is tasked with designing the new Minority and Women Business Enterprise program. The latter stems from findings of a disparity study that was commissioned by the city in 2018, and it was released in 2021. The study was designed to detect whether a statistical disparity exists between the availability of minority and women-owned businesses and the rate at which the city purchases from those businesses. Can I rewind that? Wheel it, selector?
Wheel it up.
It said the disparity study was designed to detect whether a statistical disparity exists between the availability of minority and women-owned businesses and the rate at which the city purchases from those businesses. But wait, the analysis confirmed a disparity in both prime contracts and subcontracts awarded by the city during the disparity period, the study period, which was 2014 to 2018. There's a 260-page report that found that African Americans were the most underutilized by the city's small business enterprise program. Across all prime contracts and construction, professional services, and other goods and services, 88% of city contracts went to white men versus only 1.6 to black-owned firms. Y'all listening?
88% went to white men. This is the minority business.
No. This is what
the contracts in general.
This is what the disparity. So that when they was looking for disparities, this is what they found. They found that 88% of the contracts went to white men versus 1.6 to black-owned firms. The difference was even more stark among the city's most highly used vendors. White males won over 99% of the 826 contracts that went to the 57 most used firms.
So that's 99%
went. So it was 826 contracts. So these are firms that are used the most by the city. 99% of those contracts went to white male firms. Not a single African American firm was in that group. The study concluded that after nearly 31 years in operation, the Small Business Enterprise Program has been ineffective in achieving equitable participation for minority and women-owned businesses, prime contractors based upon their availability. So basically, they're saying that the businesses are available, the city just wasn't using them, and Mr. Malone has been tasked with correcting these disparities with the implementation of a new program. Angela Brown,
so the
wow,
first thing
is right.
The first thing I want to say, it's not going to be up to one man, one administration to fix this problem.
Right.
This is a systemic problem that has been going on in this city for decades. And so what we going to have to do, not only have we going to have to support the mayor, we're going to have to support this brother David in his position, but we also going to have to wash the pot.
Yes.
Y'all ever been cooking and grandma would say, wash the pot?
Yep.
You're going to have to wash the pot because like this 300 million, think about that, 300 million in 10 years is 3 billion, y'all.
Right.
I say it again. 300 million in 10 years is 3 billion.
Right.
So if 99% of that 3 billion gonna go to the same people, the same 50 companies?
That's what's been happening.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And that's the wealth tool that I was talking about.
Right.
Think about the wealth that them 50 companies gonna get because they're gonna be in the game for 10 years.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Real talk. All right, caller, what's your name? What's on your mind? You on there?
Yes, I just want to bring something to y'all attention. We have 2 state reps, correct? Senators. Senator is a state rep, and well, I'm not going to say the young lady, but one state rep is a lawyer, correct?
Yes. Can you give us your name, caller?
Huh?
Can you give us your name? Yes.
Yes, Daryl.
Okay, brother Daryl. All right, and yeah, go ahead. Yes, one of them is a lawyer.
Okay, so he's from St. Pete, but he won't give DJM no business.
DJM, give me DJM.
I said WJM.
Okay, there you go.
He gave, he supported this station.
Mm-hmm.
And he lives over here, but he gives the business to the radio station across that bridge. Don't you think something wrong about that picture?
There's a disparity. Yeah. You want look. You want to start at home, right? That's what we was always taught. Yeah,
I mean that's where.
Yeah. You start at home. That's what I was always told.
Huh?
I was always told, your charity start at home and then spread abroad.
Okay.
I would thank you for calling.
So I'm giving. All right.
Thank you.
So yeah, man, we gotta really think about the disparities.
Yeah.
Because in our community, if we're not getting those dollars, the dollars are going somewhere.
Right.
And when those dollars go in other places, what it does is keep us in poverty. That's what people don't understand. So people don't understand these city contracts. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to get a city contract.
No.
That's why I just tried to make this simple thing like a printing company.
Right.
I tried to make it simple, but it's even simpler than that. You know what I'm saying? You got paint contracts. No, they ain't got paint contracts. They got people.
They got
but
paint.
They do got paint contracts. They got something going on over there.
We trying it again. Qiana, let's see if we can hear you.
Good morning.
And for some reason that echo just won't go away.
Why you sound like you just woke up?
Well, it is 4 something in the morning over here. I can no longer hear y'all.
Okay,
we can hear you.
Yeah, what happens is let me see if we can do it this way.
You jam pony. You trying to jam pony?
No, I am not jam pony, but I am trying.
I can't hear anything.
But I will be re-gifting it.
You'll be re-gifting
I will be re-gifting it. To a very righteous brother.
I heard something about that. So Qiana, we're still trying to figure out this echo. Let me do some work during the break.
With a 1 minute break, what you gonna do?
Yeah, we just got. Well, we're gonna break for democracy now.
Okay, we got longer than 1 minute, then 2 minutes.
We got a couple minutes to try and figure that out. Do some troubleshooting. That's the
y'all stick and stay, man.
Y'all stick and stay for it. You know what I mean? But yeah. So the other thing too that's happening in the city, we talked about the disparity study. The VE program is actually coming up. Y'all stick around. We do have School Board Member Caprice Edmond will be joining us after the hour, after the top of the hour. So other thing too, every 10 years after the release of the census data, state and local governments redraw the boundaries of their legislative districts.
Redistricting.
It's called redistricting. And so the redistricting, say that 3 times fast. Redistricting adjusts the boundaries of the legislative districts based upon the new census data with the goal of ensuring equitable representation of voters. The city of St. Petersburg's redistricting process will examine the boundaries of the 8 districts that have been used to elect city council members. The application process is closed, but you can still reach out to your city council reps if you're interested in serving on those committees. They don't all have the same process, and so we did have some concerns about who will be picked. Hopefully we get some good people on this committee, man, because that's really an important job and an important role when you're talking about drawing the lines of
the districts.
Of the districts and equitably drawing the lines based upon population. And so y'all keep your eyes on that.
I want to say something because it's on my mind.
Yes, sir.
So the redistricting process was one of the first steps that like we were just talking about the opposite, the people that was against Roe.
Mm-hmm.
They used the redistricting process to draw the lines to begin to elect congressmen who began to write laws to further gerrymander districts, which further cemented their hold on the political process in America.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is get involved. Redistricting matters. Your district matters. What district you in matters because it can change an entire election. You seen what happened with the Congress seat.
Yeah.
They redistrict. They cut the district in half.
St. Pete, Pinellas County.
Straight down 34th Street.
Right.
One side east is
like St. Pete. The east side is really east of 34th.
Yep. And then west of 34th.
And so the east of 34th now also joins with Tampa, right?
Yep.
Is that what happens? And so now, in addition to the voters in Pinellas County voting for that seat, Tampa voters will also have a say in that seat also, which is interesting.
And what it does, what it effectively does is kind of dilutes the African American vote.
Yeah.
And what it does is so it dilutes it so heavy, it kind of splits it in two.
Right.
You know what I mean? Too heavily packed. I mean, it's crazy.
It really is. Good morning, School Board Member Edmond. We'll see you in a few. And then it says, there's some notes on the study. So here was a question from JP. He says, does the study say how many minority and women-owned businesses applied but weren't chosen? That I don't know, JP. They said it says that they were available, but many people don't know how to become city contractors. And I do
That's
think
right. That's right.
And I do think there's been a push recently.
It has, but I think it ain't hit the mark because a lot of people still don't even know about the process. And what we got to do is understand that it ain't gonna be one silver bullet.
Right.
It might have to be a buckshot. It might have to be an automatic fire.
Real talk.
To hit the mark.
And then also, Angela Brown says, I'm glad they exposed the disparities as a community. Once again, we have been duped. Let's organize a solution-based approach to amplify our sustainability and access to funding.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. So right before the break, we got maybe about 60 seconds. Caller, what's your name? What's on your mind? You on the air? Caller, are you there?
Yes, this is Caprice Edmond, school board member.
Okay, you ain't coming?
I was told to appear by phone.
Okay, got you. Well, good morning. So what we're gonna do is let me do this. We're gonna put you in the queue. We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna see you in a few. We'll talk to you after the top of the hour. All right?
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Stay there though. Don't hang up.
Stick and stay.
Stick and stay. Yeah. I was looking forward to seeing Caprice in the studio. But that's how it happens sometimes, y'all. And so, you listening to the new morning show, the 99 Gems morning show, right here on the 99 Gems, the Bird. This program, again, if you missed the early part, if you want to catch the replay, you can actually go back to 99gemsthebird.com, listen live. You can also go to facebook.com/Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. Another way you can listen is on your radio, WUJM 99.1 FM if you're in your car. And also download the TuneIn radio app, and you'll be able to listen to the program as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause for the cause, pay a couple bills, and then come back with our conversation with School Board Member Caprice Edmond right here on 99 Gems the Bird. Y'all stick around for it. We'll be right back.
Any differently from that?
Chris Patton was speaking to Luis Hidalgo in 2013. In the next program, we'll hear from a leading democracy campaigner from Hong Kong with her memories of the day power was handed over to China.
Pinellas County. Hello, Esther Matthews, NAACP president for the St. Petersburg branch, 5130. I want to invite all of you out to meet our new superintendent, Kevin Hendricks. We're doing an education forum on June the 30th at Allendale Church, Allendale Methodist. And I want to invite you guys out to come and join us so that we can not only meet our new superintendent, but also meet some of the key administrative staff with the school board.
Thank you, Esther. I'm looking forward to meeting with you and all of the community on June 30th at the Allendale United Methodist Church. It's going to be a great time. We look forward to talking education, talking about the issues that are important to the NAACP, Absolutely. And looking forward to the next school year. So we'll see you on June 30th.
See you there.
and then to help us redefine what's cool. So I think we might have it sorted out here. We do have School Board Member Edmond on the line, so we're gonna try this one more time, Qiana. Let's see if we can get you in because we want you to be a part of this conversation. Let's see here. Let me see. Not quite. Let's try it this way. Okay. All right, Qiana, I don't think we're gonna be able to do it.
Okay. See y'all Wednesday.
Well, how you heard that?
Yeah, she heard that, but it's just with this echo and these other things, like these technical difficulties. And we have School Board Member on the line. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back to you, Qiana.
Okay, I see y'all.
And she up early too.
Very.
So real quick, y'all, and thank y'all again for tuning in. And as we navigate these challenges here, I did what you said, Mr. J, and it still didn't work. So we're gonna sort something out. Because Mr. J will call and be like, "You got to do that thing." I did that thing.
We did that thing,
and it didn't do what we needed it to do. But that's all right, y'all. We're gonna keep the party rolling. Again, you listen to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, and our goal here is to unite our community and inspire, providing, of course, our unique perspectives on hot topics, and also bringing in those who are subject matter experts. And so what we have done today is we've invited Caprice Edmond, school board member. Caprice was elected to the school board in 2020 to serve the last 2 years of an unexpired term. She's a lifelong resident of St. Petersburg, and Mrs. Edmond is a proud graduate of Gibbs High School and USF. Caprice also has championed safety, academic success, community engagement, and more during the few months that she's served already. Her voice represents our community on the board, and we appreciate your leadership, and we want to welcome you to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, School Board Member Caprice Edmond. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I appreciate the opportunity to join you all and just share a little bit about what's going on with the district.
That's what's up.
So thank you.
No, thank you. And I thank you for making time and creating space for us this morning. And so for those who may not know exactly, what is the role of a school board member in a nutshell? Because, we bring everything to the school board. So what exactly is your role as a school board member?
The role of the entire school board is for district oversight. Basically, the operations of the district, managing the budget, the policies and procedures that we'll talk to later, such as the student code of conduct, signing off on or approving contracts and things of that nature. We also approve the start and stop times for schools. And then getting down to the nitty gritty of some things that get brought forth to possibly individual school board members are like school-based concerns. So the role of the school board member isn't to manage the day-to-day operations. That's the superintendent and his staff. So what we do when we do get those concerns is connect people to the appropriate staff member to handle it or bring it up the chain if that concern hasn't been addressed.
That's what's up. Mr. Edmond, you got a question? I'm working on some stuff over here. I'm sorry.
So y'all don't do no hiring and firing. When you say day-to-day operations, what's the day-to-day operations?
So we do have agenda items that come before us that have the hiring or retirements and hiring and resignations of people that come to us collectively as a group bundled. It could be hundreds or more people that come to us in a document for us to approve or deny. But we're not out actively recruiting and filling out paperwork to hire people on staff. That's done by district staff, and then it's brought to us to approve or not approve collectively.
Okay, and one of those hires that was just recently approved was the hiring of a superintendent.
Yes. So the superintendent is employed by the school board, and I think I need to take it a step back.
Okay.
So school board members are elected by the community who they represent. So people in District 7 voted for me, which is why I'm on the board.
Right.
And that occurs throughout the county. There are countywide seats and there are single member district seats. So your voice is your vote, because that's how the school board member is elected. And the school board member hires the superintendent.
Okay.
And then under that, the superintendent has their staff who does additional hiring. Sometimes I do get asked about hiring and firing of people, and I think it's also important to share that there's a state statute that dictates that the school board is not to interfere with the hiring of the executive leadership team as determined by the superintendent without cause. So the only real reason to deny or not approve of a hire would be if that person does not meet the qualification.
Okay. And so with the hiring of the most recent superintendent, I know that there's a meeting that's coming up, and actually I remember you championing several opportunities that we had to engage and to give feedback. How was the feedback, that was provided by the community used in informing the decision of the board to hire the person who was recently hired?
So there were several community sessions and opportunities for people to provide feedback. There was a online survey to provide community input. Then there were many focus groups and community forums, hosted hybrid. And all of that feedback was consolidated and put into a document that we have online. And what we did with that, or what I did with that, was look at the characteristics of a leader or a superintendent, as well as the strengths of the district and weaknesses, and use that to talk about what the community would like to see in a superintendent. So some of that was incorporated into the advertisement, as well as ensuring that we had someone who has worked with diverse populations, with the student demographic and population of over 25,000, had experience with education, et cetera, et cetera. And I think it's important to talk about the timeline because, if you're not really paying attention to what's going on with the school board, you might be like, well, what happened to the other superintendent?
Right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
So who is the superintendent?
The superintendent is Kevin Hendricks. Mm-hmm. His contract was approved at the last school board meeting. Yep.
Okay.
Kevin Hendricks.
And then there's a meeting this Thursday for the community to come out and actually meet and have conversations with Mr. Hendrick. And so we want to definitely encourage everybody to participate in that.
Where is it going to be at?
At Allendale United Methodist, out there on Haynes Road. And you actually can find the flyers posted on this Facebook on St. Pete Community Calendar. We'll also share it again on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. And just kind of transitioning out of that because it's a lot that's going on, right? And so the Stop Woke is what they were calling it. The Stop Woke Act goes into effect, I think, this week. And so just want to know, what are your thoughts on the Stop Woke and how will this specifically impact Pinellas County schools?
Well, it is related to training.
Okay.
In other aspects. So we provide standard-based education based on the standards. So what the district is doing and working on is making sure that the trainings are in compliance with the law. So what that looks like, I will know exactly when I go back to attending the training.
I got you.
At our school board meeting and workshop tomorrow, there will be discussions related to organizational changes that may be recommended. So I look forward to that conversation and seeing what the work of the executive director of culture and climate of schools will be doing or will be in charge of.
Give me that again. You said the executive director of culture and climate?
Yes.
Okay. That might be somebody we want to invite. You think we get them in here?
So this is all new, which is why it'll be brought forward to us to discuss. And it's the executive director of school climate and behavior. So we'll be discussing that position tomorrow.
Okay.
And this information that I'm sharing with
that's
you.
a new position.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought y'all already had one, and we just needed to.
Yeah, I wonder why I never heard of it.
Okay.
I just ain't saying nothing. What is it?
So
okay.
So yeah, we have a new superintendent, and he's working to make sure that the district really is leaning into that 100% academic success. And this is one of the positions that he is suggesting that we approve. So we'll have discussion about it tomorrow.
Okay.
And go from there. Also, something that we're talking about tomorrow that could be impacted by the Stop the Vote Act is our strategic plan.
Okay.
And again, this information that I'm sharing with you is available online at pcsb.org. And then the website, if you select school board and go to meetings and minutes, you can select the workshop that we'll be having tomorrow. And you can see some of the changes to the district strategic plan. And some of it really removes things like avid, culturally responsive teaching and things of that nature.
So we wrote culturally responsive teaching into our strategic plan because we saw that it was a need in our county, and the state basically said, no, y'all can't do that.
So what this actual item is, it's avid. So the actual item is ensure at least 75% of instructional staff are trained in the avid culturally relevant teaching strategies.
Okay.
So all teachers are trained by 2023.
Okay. And so now that can't happen because of this law. It's HB 7, right?
What is HB 7?
Yeah, HB 7. It passed by the state legislators this spring. It was signed by Ron DeSantis in April, and it basically restricts the way certain race-related issues can be taught in the schools and workplace. The new law is set to take effect on this Friday, and it specifically targets training and instruction that would tell students and employees that they are unconsciously discriminate. So basically, those conversations about
bias.
You can't do that no more in Florida. You can't talk about that no more. Go ahead.
And I think it's important just to throw this out there, because I have not had this conversation with them regarding why they are removing it. But I know this has been one of the hot topics that we've had people come and talk about not teaching CRT.
Yep.
So I look forward to the conversation that'll occur tomorrow regarding what we're doing to support efforts.
Right.
And I think it's still important to mention that there has been no change to things like increasing the percentage of district-wide equity champions who are micro-credentialed by 10 percentage points.
Okay.
Also, maintaining school-based staff who are equity champion micro-credentialed by certifying that every principal and at least 2 school-based staff members at every school have completed the equity champion micro-credential and recertified each year.
When you say micro-credentialed, I don't know what that means. What does that like?
So that means that they participate in professional development.
Okay.
Related to equity, like equitable grading and things of that nature. There's a list of trainings that fall into the equity training category. And with that, they earn a micro-credential, which could be used on their online signature. And I was an equity champion when I taught for Pinellas County Schools. So I would provide school-based professional development based on the trainings that I learned and working with people in my cohort.
Gotcha. I got you. Okay, no, that's absolutely helpful. And then just like with these efforts towards equity, does this does this law really impact that, or do you see, what are some of the challenges or either opportunities that you see with, going forward with this new law and your work as an equity champion for our community?
I see greater opportunities for community to get involved and host their own trainings where we all can become more aware of the issues and how we can address issues in an equitable manner, whether it's education, whether it's, the air quality
Yep.
inequities and how we push forward through those issues, whether it's the food insecurity, like having these conversations and being transparent about the disparities and the harm that it causes is extremely important. And we have people who want to learn more. We have people who don't really understand what equity means.
Right.
And they feel that it causes harm to have a discussion about equity. So I think the more community leaders and organizations we have willing to step up and invite people to have, all people to have this type of conversation, the more we kind of bridge the communication gap and the lack of and that misinformation that may lead to people to believing that talking about equity means one person is meant to feel inferior or oppressive.
Wow. And I know you've also been doing some work around the code of conduct and some recent changes to the code of conduct. Would you mind sharing a little bit with us about, just the work that's been happening with the code of conduct? I know you brought to our attention here at the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club and in the community about the interlocal agreement between, the sheriff's office and, the school board. And, I've just learned so much about the way things work with the school board with you being there. And I appreciate, just your approach to it where, the engagement starts with information and really education on the educational systems and just the way things work. And so you've really been great at engaging us in that. And so would you mind again sharing with us some of the work that's happening around the code of conduct and what we need to be paying attention to with that?
Okay, so you did mention that the interagency agreement. We had our last community meeting related to that document in May, and it was discussed to continue the dialogue, continue those conversations in the form of the DMAC or co-plebs meetings as the chairs or presidents of those organizations deem appropriate. On my end, I still plan on focusing on that work because that's very important. But I'd also like to talk about the code of conduct. On June 14th at our school board meeting, we approved several code of conduct policies.
Okay.
And I like to just walk you through briefly of how that came about. And so annually, the district reviews the policies, and Dr. Hines was in charge of this group of policies, and he reached out to get feedback from various organizations, including the Pinellas PCC, PTA, teachers, students, and other groups for their feedback. And these policies include a dress code policy, a discipline policy, misconduct that requires specific consequences, a disciplinary action policy, discipline for students with disabilities, suspension/expulsion, and grievance procedures.
Okay, that's a lot.
And yes, so a lot of these policies. So we've been talking about it for months. So first he figured out which policies that we needed to adjust, and then he had those conversations with those community groups and brought it to the school board at a workshop where we were able to ask questions. And prior to the workshop, you can have your individual meetings and make suggestions before you get to the workshop and start asking questions. So went through that process, and we had it brought to us again. Then it was brought before the school board to vote on for a first hearing where we allow the public to provide feedback and comments. And then at our June 14th meeting, that was the second reading, and there were no changes made to it. So it was approved. I think it's important just to share with everybody that I read every single one of the policies and had one-on-one conversations, often multiple times, and provided feedback on better ways to improve it and make the changes that are needed to support our students and just be clear on the stances that we have in Pinellas County Schools.
Right.
I also think it's important that if anybody, a parent, community member, are reading these policies and have suggestions that they would like to see in place next year, that they can still make those suggestions.
Right.
It's not like it's a closed book once the policy is approved. I think it's important to be open to the dialogue and feedback of community members, which is why I come on shows and try to bring awareness of what's going on in the district.
And what are some of the key changes that we can, like key takeaways, some of the policies that have been changed that,
Okay. And I'm just going to throw this out there again, that this is also on the PCSB website. If you search for, if you click school board, you can go to the meeting that was held June 14th, and you can see a breakdown of the policies. And I'm just going to read off what were the general policy change recommendations, because it was a lot. So for the dress code, the requirements were rewritten to describe applicably of all clothing instead of specific articles of clothing. For example, it had things before like don't show your bra strap. So the requirements, while unchanged, are also reorganized to group similar guidelines to get together for clarity and ease of reference for stakeholders.
Okay. What they doing about hair? I know hair was a source of contention at one point, with, people wearing natural hair in some places, children being discriminated against because of their hairstyles.
Not here. That ain't happening here.
Have we seen any, does the dress code talk about, does the code of conduct talk about how you can wear your hair in Pinellas County?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And then
no need to. No, that's good. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right. And some of the discipline stuff. I remember a few years ago there was like a problem with the way that the disorderly conduct, was being enforced and all of that stuff. Has any changes been made to address the disparities in, arrest and discipline for disorderly conduct and some of those other things that, I saw the reports that came out that was saying Black children disproportionately impacted by?
So, Brother John, you're going to have me all across the board. So this goes back to the interagency agreement.
Okay.
And that language related to petty misconduct and specific acts. So as it relates to arrest, that interagency agreement is a good piece to review.
Okay.
But because of the Legal Defense Fund, community input, and working collaboratively with the law enforcement agencies, it put more in place to make sure that everyone knows their roles and their rights as it relates to law enforcement.
Okay, so
administrators.
Sorry to digress.
So for the discipline policy, it added language that reassignment or referral for mental health services will follow the conclusion of a threat assessment.
Say that again.
Okay, so discipline.
Okay.
They added language stating that reassignment or referral to mental health services will follow the conclusion of a threat assessment. So this policy or this change is related to if there's a threat assessment done on the student because of whatever behavior situation is occurring, that they may be referred to mental health services.
When you say a threat, what you mean exactly? What kind of threat? Because we in the context of shootings and so can you help me? And I'm sorry if I'm again being all over the place or double clicking when it's clear to everybody else. I can be a little slow sometimes on these things. So.
No, you're fine. It's just I was like, wait, do we have time for all of this? Because this is a whole segment.
Okay. We got time. We got time.
Okay. So this is the exact paragraph. Students who commit violent or disruptive behaviors that may pose a threat to the safety of school staff, whether at a school, on a school bus or bus stop, or during a school-sponsored activity, shall be assigned to an alternative education program or referred to mental health services identified by the school district following the conclusion of a school-based threat assessment, district threat assessment, or both.
Okay.
And this is according to Florida state statute.
No, I got you, but you got Mr. Edmond over here scratching his head. but what I'm taking away from that is the aspect of, like, if you got somebody or a student that's acting out, they're making a threat. They also, in addition to the disciplinary measures that are being taken, they're also now being referred to some mental health assessments, basically.
Yes, and that's Florida state statute.
Okay, got you. I got you. So it's like what you've been saying the whole time, the whole child, right? Really? Yep. Yeah. Okay, I got you. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, what else you got?
So misconduct that requires specific consequences. They've added language that a threat assessment will be conducted for firearms, guns, and dangerous objects, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Disciplinary actions and suspension or expulsion has been updated to consistently specify 5 school days for appeal of suspension or reassignment. And this was done because there was some inconsistency. So on one policy, it said 3 days. On another, it said 5 days. And sometimes people are just trying to figure out life, like what's happening and what steps do I need to take. So the district felt providing 5 days for people to appeal would be sufficient.
Okay, gotcha. And that's a standard thing. So now it's not kind of up to the case by case, right?
There's discipline for students with disabilities.
Okay.
We added language clarifying that a student being evaluated for consideration of ESE.
I think you dropped. You know?
Yeah, the phone went out. School board member Edmond, if you can hear us. What I'm gonna do is clear the line, and then maybe she can give us a call right back. Hopefully you can hear us. Maybe you can send her a note. But yeah, I mean, look, y'all, this is a lot to pay attention to, and so we gotta we gotta keep our eyes on the prize, man, because it's a lot going on. School board member, there we go.
Yes, I got disconnected. Let me see. But yeah, so there's a lot going on.
No, I got it. And so with these changes, you did mention school safety, and in the context of with the school shootings and things that's been going on around the country, has there been any proposals, suggestions, recommendations, or anything, or just your thoughts on the current status of safety for students against those types of things in Pinellas County? What are your thoughts on that? Where we at?
Well, because of the shooting that occurred in Parkland, the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Act was implemented, and our legislators have been approving laws that enhance the safety for a couple of years now. So just this year, we've added we've updated communication, streamlining that process with the emergency response unit, as well as adding additional alerts. I foresee there will be additional conversation regarding safety coming up. And I also know that many of our principals and assistant principals participated in a threat assessment or safety training just a few weeks ago. And I know the conversation about safety in our schools will continue, because it's something that should be and is top of mind for everyone.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that. And then go ahead.
Brother John, I just think it's important to talk about parental rights.
Okay. I was actually going there, so no, that's good. So let's talk about it.
And we, Pinellas County Schools, we have a policy related to parental rights.
Okay.
And that's policy 55 or 5,500, period 015, and that is the parental right. It was added to a group of policies within the Code of Conduct, but remains unchanged since it was approved at the March 22nd public board meeting.
Okay.
And again, that's following the state statute, the law that passed, ensuring that we have a parental rights policy. And what I'm going to do right now is go to that school board. And all the things that I'm talking about, it is online.
Right.
So I just want to just briefly talk about the rationale of this and how it came about. So federal state laws afford parents certain rights related to the education of their children in public schools.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important that our community is aware of this policy.
Right.
And
That's right.
This policy describes some of those rights. It promotes parental involvement and is recommended for the adoption in compliance with the state statute. And the rationale is the district has historically provided and required information and awarded these rights to families while continuously encouraging parental involvement. And with consultation with the County Council PTA, the Association of School Administrators, this policy was drafted.
Okay. Gotcha.
And so that's just the gist of it, making sure that parents are aware of what their rights are.
Yep, that's very important.
It really is. And just, you know, that family and community engagement piece, I know that's like really a staple and a hallmark of your tenure up to this point. And so what are some of the things that you've been doing to encourage families to, you know, really and really continue to build these types of partnerships with students? And how can parents plug into some of the things that you've been doing?
So I have been hosting the virtual town halls and walking people through the steps or on the website for Pinellas County School Board and just pinpointing to how parents can get the resources they need.
Right.
Also, Pinellas County Schools, in partnership with the Early Learning Coalition, hosted an in-person BPK registration event in South St. Pete. And we all know how important early education is, and that foundation of social emotional learning and development is crucial to just having lifelong learners and students built for or supported through academic success. So as I get calls about challenges or concerns people are having, I connect them with the appropriate staff member to get their situation handled. We also have parent advocates in Pinellas County Schools, and that information is available on the website, as well as to how parents can receive additional support. Maybe they need somebody besides a school-based staff to walk them through the 504 IEP process or conflict they might be having at the school. Some people have talked about the curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
And the part of the parental rights is giving parents the access to the curriculum, which, in my opinion, they've had all the time.
Okay.
So just making sure they're aware that, hey, if you want to see what we're teaching, you can see it.
Right.
It's available. And something that just kind of been like a hot topic for some groups or people has been sex education. So all of that is available online. What the district is teaching related to sex education, the entire PowerPoint or course is available online for people to read. And parents also have the option of opting your child out.
No.
You know, if you don't want so I think it's important that people know that, you know, there are avenues that you can go through if you have a complaint, if you don't want your child to read a certain book or learn about a certain thing. There are things just through conversation that you can have to make sure that doesn't occur.
I got you.
I know they can opt out.
I got you.
I didn't know it was no option.
So you got an option, like if the school is basically teaching something that you don't feel comfortable with, or you don't want your student or your child to learn, you can opt out of that particular part of the curriculum. Is that what you're saying?
Parents can opt their child out of sex education.
Okay, gotcha. So if that's something that you're concerned about and you don't want it being taught, yeah, then you can just say no, not for my baby, right?
And again, just having that open line of communication, like these are my concerns about it.
Yeah.
And this, you know,
it's a relationship, right? Having a relationship with the teachers, you know, a relationship with the administrators, and a relationship with the board, right?
And I know not everyone is available or have the time to dive into all of these pieces like that. But I think it's important that our people are aware of their parental rights and things that they can advocate for, as well as the supports that are available.
And when you mentioned parent advocates, I've heard Sister Yvonne, shout out to Yvonne Thomas. I heard her talk about parent advocates. Also, Miss Denise Ford.
Yep.
You know, and how does a person like connect with a parent advocate? How do you find them? Like if you say I need, you know, I need that help. Where do I go to get it?
I think the easiest way would be to call 727-588-6000 and talk to the operator and ask for a parental or a parent advocate. And then they could direct that person to the appropriate staff.
Wow. When does a person need a parent advocate?
I think that people use parent advocates or just ask for additional support. It could be anything. They might say, my child is struggling with homework. I might need a parent advocate to help me walk through this or walk through that. And then that parent advocate will say, well, this is how we can handle that situation.
Gotcha.
So people ask for a parent advocate for various reasons. Somebody might say, I have this IEP meeting and I think I need additional support, or, you know, and again, there are other district staff that could help out with that information or help out with those methods of support. So the parent advocate could be that person in the meeting with you, or they could be connecting you with staff to walk you through the processes or things or areas of concerns that you may have.
That's what's up.
And this information is available online. I know during the pandemic, they were hosting sessions to talk about the 7 effective habits of teens, of highly effective teens, mental health, just providing resources and support to parents that might have concerns.
No, that's what's up. And so, you got any other questions?
Just how can I get in contact with the board?
The board email is board@pcsb.org. And I think it is an advantage if people email the entire board so that the entire board is seeing the concerns that people have. Our secretary will email that they've received, that the board has received the email, or depending on what it is, they will send it to the appropriate staff member who will connect with that person and then follow up with a response to the board. So they might say, you sent this email inquiring about transportation. I'm responding on behalf of the school board to help you out, and then talk through whatever the situation might be.
Oh, that's what's up. All right.
And that's because the board isn't responsible for the day-to-day operation.
No, I got you.
I think people don't understand that, though.
Yeah, they think you can just walk into a class and just start firing people or something. But Angela Brown, she says, I speak the language of equity and inclusion and appreciate the information that will come from the meeting and the new position regarding cultural competency and leadership. Also, she says, thank you so much, Caprice, for delivering such an eloquent and cogent delivery of the information. Our students matter. And any final thoughts that you have, School Board Member Edmonds, before we get out of here?
Stay involved. if you have the energy and capacity to be involved with the school board or learn more about the policies and procedures that are being approved, or just share your feedback. If something's going great, share it. If something needs to be improved, share it. And I just want to go back to what you were saying about that meeting coming up on the 30th. It's a great opportunity for people to meet the new superintendent at the NAACP meeting at Allendale this Thursday.
Yep.
And this is something that he intentionally included in his entry plan, really getting involved with the community. And I know that has been something that people have said was lacking, seeing the superintendent. So I just think this is a really good opportunity for you all to meet Mr. Hendricks and ask him questions and speak your mind about things. And, it doesn't happen quite often. So I plan on being there as an individual school board member. And again, this is not a school board function he's attending. He's attending the NAACP meeting. Okay. And that's just fantastic.
Right.
So that is all I have to say about that, Brother John.
No, I appreciate that. And I want to definitely thank you for calling in and all of the work that you're doing. And another thing that we thank you in your absence. So I want to say it to you publicly while we have you on the line about the Smell Something, Say Something campaign and the work that you've done to really bring awareness to the need for us to address some of the environmental issues that we're dealing with in the Childs Park neighborhood, specifically along the Pinellas County Trail in that pre-industrial area, and how you really just brought to light, the how do we say, we unnormalized it.
It's no longer normal.
Yeah, it's no longer normal for us to be smelling these smells. It wasn't ever normal, but I think you just sounding the alarm and asking questions, has really led us along a path that was really divinely, I think, inspired. And I just want to publicly acknowledge your work and your contribution to that campaign. And thank you for really showing the care and concern for the children in that way. So thank you again for all that you're doing for the community.
Thank you, Brother John. The children are our future. And if we don't act now, that's it.
Yeah.
So we got to stand up for everybody. Thank you very much for your time, y'all. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, School Board Member Caprice Edmond. So if you'd like to learn more about what she's doing as an individual school board member, you can go to Edmond for Education. And on Edmond for Education, it has all of the information about what she's doing. She also shared with us the school board website. And what I find too interesting is it was a post about, the Mayor Welch made a post about something, right? And then in the comments, they were asking about some of the programs. Somebody commented asking about programs that, what's your plan for this? What you gonna do for that? And when I saw it, I directed them to the stpete.org, not as a delegate or a surrogate for the mayor, but it was one of them questions like, oh yeah, I know where to get that answer, right? So we don't have to wait for the mayor to respond to answer a question. If I'm sitting on the post and it's like, I know where you can get that answer. And a lot of that stuff is on the city website. Right. You just do keyword searches. You got to really be nosy and start poking around to find it. Of course, it's not like, right there, for you.
It's not intuitive.
It's not intuitive. So you got to, but how you ask Siri, you can go to that website and you can ask, questions.
But I think some people need a training, man. Some people have the ability, but don't believe in themselves that they can do it. And you show them how to do it. Oh, I can do it. And then they follow from there.
And the point that I'm making with that is that's what I've seen with School Board Member Edmonds. Like a lot of this information that we're asking for is there. It's on the Pinellas County School Board website. But we have to just take that time. If you spend 20 or 30 minutes a day just clicking around on that website, you know what I mean? If you want to spend, 15, 20 minutes. Right, so instead of on your lunch break,
familiar with it.
Instead of watching reels or TikToking,
get familiar with the website.
Get familiar with the website. The same amount of time that we.
I definitely did it with the city website.
Yeah. That school website, and I'm starting to mess around with the county website. right?
I gotta progress to them too well.
Yeah. But I mean,
ain't
look,
there yet.
and look, that's most of us, right?
Yeah,
Most people ain't like checking for that website. We ain't looking for what's the.
Most people ain't like exploring websites for their municipalities or their, because it just don't dawn on you sometimes. But then the resources right there for you.
Yeah,
the answers to your question is right there for you.
A lot of the applications is right there for you. You know what I mean? A lot of the when you say, well, I ain't know about the meetings. Well, the meetings is posted on.
Right there for you.
It's right there, and of course, there's always work that can be done, or criticism that can be made about getting the word out and all of that. But once you know that it's there on their website, like I go, maybe once every other week, I'll go check the city council agenda. You know what I mean? Let me just see what these people talking about. That's like
I ain't got there yet either.
Yeah, I check the agenda.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You on another level, brother.
Well, okay,
you on another level.
Well, y'all come on, let's go, because that's really what it is. You just
checking the agenda just in case.
Well, I mean, like, and it's one of them.
What y'all might be doing.
It's just it's just like how you check on your news feed for upcoming events.
But it's
you know what I mean?
It's different. It's more intentionality.
Yeah, it's just a thought process.
You checking programming versus checking the program.
Yeah, checking programming versus checking the program.
You get what I'm saying? You checking
and it's true. I don't want to minimize it or oversimplify what it is.
But it can be done by average people, and we can do it.
The information is available, man. It absolutely is available. And so avail yourself of those things. And so pcsb.org is where you can go if you have questions. It gives you links to the emails. So if you read something, you got a problem with it, the email address and all of that is right there as well. So in the time that we got left, we just want to give a couple announcements. And again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. We just had a great conversation with School Board Member Caprice Edmond. If you like to catch it, if you missed it, you can go back to facebook.com/Tampa Bay Breakfast Club and do the rewind. Also 99jamstheberg.com. You can listen live. Download the TuneIn radio app and find WUJM and donate, y'all. We really need donations and sponsorships. This is a community-owned radio station. We get to talk how we talk and say what we say because it is community-owned.
It's a people station.
And so you'll hear views and opinions that
expressed
by ours, that are our views, but they're expressed on this platform. And there are other platforms where we may be censored or may be shut down.
And may not be able to express the stuff that we're expressing.
And we're only able to do that because of your continued support. So go to 99jamstheberg.com if you'd like to donate. Also, just the second air quality monitor. We're still installing air quality monitors in Childs Park.
In the Childs Park area.
And we're getting some data. We're actually starting to get some early data.
I seen some. I put a video up about it.
Nice. And so if you'd like to see the real-time data from the air quality monitors that have been in Childs Park, you can go to purpleair.com. Again, you go to purpleair.com and you'll be able to take a look. It's pretty straightforward. They give you ranges on what is healthy. And look, that's been my word for the past 2.5 weeks. He pointed at me on that one. But yeah, it is though.
It's pretty straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward. You look, you see 1 to 50, 51 to 100, 101 to above. It's kind of the ratings and rankings. And you can see where we rank. Now you can do some deeper dives, and that's what we've been doing.
Looking to do the deeper dive.
Yeah, and really do some citizen science to see exactly what's the what's in the air, y'all. And so again, the goal is to identify what's in the air, what the impact is having on our health. And then of course the end goal is to remove anything that is hurting us and not helpful to us. So that's the goal. Along the way, we've been learning a lot about things like acceptable amounts of pollution. I didn't know that was a thing.
Listen, I've learned so much about air quality, pollution, the smells, and the differences between the smells. Like this all come from when Caprice was in the schools and smelling it at Fairmont Park, and coming back like, hey, what's going on with that?
And we kept asking,
what's going on with that?
Yeah.
And it just became this whole movement. So it's 2 air quality monitors up. We're looking to put some more air quality monitors up if you live or stay in the Childs Park neighborhood and you would like to have, you need cable. You need to have, not cable, but you need internet.
Yeah, you need Wi-Fi.
So as long as you got that, we can put an air quality monitor at your business, at your home. And then the data will be public because it's like citizen scientists here.
Right.
This is us becoming what we need to be to make our community healthy and safe.
I love that. And so, yeah, get involved. Y'all stay involved. Also, keep the complaints coming. We have been seeing
upticks. Big uptick,
substantial uptick in complaints,
and because people just ain't know.
Yeah,
it's not that it's just now happening. It's people didn't know, and then once the word get out, now people know.
Yep, and they taking action, and it's working. There was actually a complaint that came in about a business that right now that business is in the permitting process because they was doing some things that were out of compliance that was reported by a resident.
What?
Yeah, you got to the meeting late. You missed that whole part.
What?
But yeah, there was a business that was doing some stuff that was out of compliance. A resident called just because they smelled something.
Yeah, we ain't supposed to be smelling nothing.
The county did their investigative process. They went out, interviewed the business, inspected the business,
and it was out of compliance.
And now that business is taking some remediation measures to correct this air quality issue that they was contributing to.
Man, I hope
it's working, y'all.
I hope that we can really get to the root of a lot of this stuff because asthma and different breathing issues affect our community more.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the goal, man. So we starting with this preliminary data, then we're gonna do some deeper dives and really get into the nuts and bolts, understanding again what is in the air, what the impact that is having on our health, and then removing anything that shouldn't be there that's harmful to our community. All right, Mr. Edmond, final thoughts.
Oh man, we got some work to do, y'all. This week we gonna work a little more harder than we did last week.
I like
Hopefully we can get farther than we got.
I love that. Oh, and speaking of this week, Duke Energy. So I don't know if y'all seen them, but Duke Energy, they've been coming around knocking on doors. Was that my music, my background music? I'm just trying to figure out what that sound effect was. Which effect was that? You got the boom, 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 and then you got the. So
the mic is too sensitive.
So thinking about Duke Energy, we're not talking about them highlight bills just yet, but they are when we talk about resiliency and sustainability. One of the things that Duke Energy has been doing is knocking on doors, talking to people about putting power lines underground. And so I've had, a few neighbors in my neighborhood that came and say, hey, man, what's your thoughts on this? What you think about this? And I'm me, right? So me saying, I ain't got no problem with saying, I don't know enough about it.
You say that a lot.
I don't know enough about it.
Get more data.
I don't know enough about it to make it like, because they asking me, what should you do, man? Don't take what I say because I don't know enough about it. I'm humble enough to acknowledge that, and I don't want to lead you wrong. And so what we are doing, because I've gotten so many calls, is we've invited Libby Hochter. She's actually the senior stakeholder engagement manager for Duke Energy. And she's going to come in on Wednesday, and she's going to talk about this targeted undergrounding power line program. We're also going to discuss what they've been doing with the trees. I've been posting about them cutting down trees and all of that. So we're just going to have a conversation with Duke Energy about these programs and things and these initiatives that they have launched in our community. So y'all make sure that y'all tune in on Wednesday.
Stick and stay. Tune in
for that on Wednesday. I seen King Jab. He said, "What else is there to talk about?" It's a whole lot to talk about, but look, it's more that needs to be done than needs to be said. And so we want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
I am the one and only Mr. Edmond,
and we out. Y'all enjoy the day. Believe and do good.
WUJM, St. Petersburg.
Peace and light. This is your brother John, and I would like to invite you to tune in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99 Jam every Monday and Wednesday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the latest in pop culture news and unique perspectives on hot topics. Make sure you tune in.